ॐ ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। यन्नित्यमानन्दमनन्तमेकं शिवेति नाम्ना श्रुतयो गृह्णन्ति तस्यावतारो नररूपधारी कृपासुदाब्धि भुवि रामकृष्णः। जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रुत्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे। यस्यात्मभूतस्य गुरोः प्रसादात् अहं विमुक्तोऽस्मि शरीरबन्धात्। सर्वोपदेष्टुः पुरुषोत्तमस्य तस्याङ्घ्रियुग्मं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम्। When Swami Vivekananda met Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna for the first time in Dakshineshwar temple complex, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna addressed Swami Vivekananda, "You are a divine being. You are the incarnation of Nara Narayana Rishi." With folded hands, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna told Narendra, "I was waiting for you all the while. How could you come so late? Don't you know that you have born in order to mitigate the suffering of the humanity?" Like that, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna addressed Swami Vivekananda. Hearing this address, Swami Vivekananda thought, this person who is in front of me and addressing me as divine must be a monomaniac, a half-mad person. A relationship which started with this proposition. Teacher says student is Bhagavan. Student says the teacher is half-mad. That relationship, long 6 years of testing, irritating, questioning, objecting, rejecting, all these are all done with love and reverence, wonderfully established as ideal student-teacher relationship. Swami Vivekananda says, for long 6 years I had to fight with my teacher and object his proposition that I am divine. Same thing happens with every seeker of spiritual knowledge. When the seeker, having understood the limitations of limited entities in the world, having understood no object, no individual can make me as full. Possessing anything, I cannot claim myself as a complete person, and at the same time I cannot stop struggling to be complete, because the intellect shows that I am incomplete. I have to fulfill myself. In the process of fulfillment, I find many things come in my life, but still one more question is added, so what? So he has understood that parichinnatvam, being limited, is a cause of all my suffering. Whether it is a notion or a fact is the question now. The teacher says it is a notion. The Guru says that you are limited is a simple notion because it is a standpoint. From the physical standpoint, you are limited From the standpoint of possession, you are limited. Position, you are limited. Knowledge, you are limited. Power, you are limited. Relationship, you are limited. Emotions, you are limited. But in reality, you are Tad Tvam Asi. You are that entity which is the cause of entire creation, which is the cause of entire living beings. You are the substratum of the entire creation. You produce, sustain and resolve the entire creation. Aitad Atmam Idagam Sarvam Tat Satyam Sa Atma Tattvamasi Shvetaketu. When this revelation is given by the teacher to the student, the natural reaction of the spiritual seeker is it so? Ascharyavat pashyati kaschitenam ascharyavat vadadi tathaiva chanyaha ascharyavat anyashunoti shrutvaapyenam veda nachaiva kaschit. It is a wonder. All the while I am thinking myself as a lacking, insignificant, wanting, limited entity. Here is a person who asserts that I am not limited, I am infinite entity. Entire creation says that I am limited entity except this person. Therefore the student says, don't you know who I am? I am the son of Vishwanatha Datta. Swami Vivekananda told when Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna addressed him as a divine being. Sri Ramakrishna's address towards Swami Vivekananda as divine being is a fact from two standpoints. One standpoint is that you are divine because you are the incarnation of Naranarayana Rishi. You might have read Puranas. Bhagavan Narayana himself has taken the form of two rishis, Nara and Narayana, and they are doing tapas for the well-being of the entire creation, staying in Badrinath. That is a Puranic assertion of avatara of Bhagavan Narayana. Sri Ramakrishna says that Nara Amsha is you, Narayana Amsha is me. So that is a fact because it is told by Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. But that also is a limited fact. That also is a limited fact. In incarnation, as Narayana is also a limited entity. But another fact is revealed by Sri Ramakrishna to Swami Vivekananda. What is that ultimate fact revealed by Bhagavan? You are that entity who sustains the entire creation. Naranarayana Avatara is not the sustainer of entire creation. They just do tapasya, that's all. Now and then they take human form. But the Vedantic revelation about every individual in the creation is the absolute revelation about the identity of the individual. Tad Tvam Asi. To know that only Swami Vivekananda struggled and struggled. And finally he says, I approached my teacher with a question, have you seen God? Have you seen God? Have you seen God? As though I could define what is the meaning of the word God. As though God is an entity of seeing. As though he is an object of perception. I approached my teacher, but my teacher revealed that God is not an object of your perception. Anything which is the object of the perception is different from the perceiver, the seer. Therefore, there is a distinction, there is a limitation of seer and seen. That which has limitation cannot be God. That which is object cannot be God. Any object is Jadam. If the object is Chaitanyam, then seer must be Jadam. Therefore, there is only one possibility. Seer must be, observer must be a Chaitanya Vastu. Observed entity should be Jada Vastu. Therefore, the very question is a silly question. How you should understand the Lord? That he doesn't have any limitation. Avang manasa gocharam. He cannot be defined in words or he cannot be conceived by mind. And he is behind the speaker and the conceiver. He is behind all the sense organs and mind. In manasana manute yenahur manomatam tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yeditam upasate yet chakshusha na pashyati yena chakshugumshi pashyati tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yeditam upasate yet shrotrena na shrunoti yena shrotram idagum shrutam tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yeditam upasate. Vedantic revelation is what? That entity which cannot be defined and that entity which cannot be the object of perception by any sense organ or mind is Bhagavan. And that entity fortunately happened to be you yourself, Tattvamasi. That is the revelation, ultimate revelation about every individual, including Swami Vivekananda. That knowledge only is revealed in the Arati Shloka, wherein Swami Vivekananda glorifies Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Khandane bhava bandhane jaga vandane vanditomai niranjane nara rupadhare nirgune gunamai. You are nirguna vastu without any attribute. At the same time, you can manifest with all attributes. All these names and forms are nothing but manifestation of that entity which doesn't have particular name and form. Being the manifestation of entire creation, you are Ananta Kalyana Guna Nilayaha. Even though this creation has defects, still you are Nirguna Vastu, you are not affected, you are unaffected entity because you are Paramarthika Satyam Asangaha. Niranjanaha you are. Niranjanaha means untainted. Untainted by what? Untainted by the defects of this creation. Untainted by the limitation of this creation. Because an entity, when it converts as another entity, it gets destroyed. If milk is converted into curds, then milk is destroyed. But here the conversion is not that type of conversion. Here is the conversion keeping intact the source, still result is seen. For example, our own dream world. Our own dream world keeps intact the dreamer. The dreamer doesn't move even an inch, but still he can project a world wherein he finds himself, he is chased by a tiger. So, not tainted by any of the limitation, this dreamer gets up as he is. If the chasing of the tiger is a reality, then the dreamer should have got up with a lot of scratches because of fighting with the tiger. So, there is a possibility of creating something without destroying the source, provided that creation, that result must be a lower order of reality. A lower order of reality. Here the dreamer is the higher order of reality, waking reality. Waker, higher order of the reality. That person who was chased by the tiger is a lower order of reality. Therefore, one is Satyam, another is Mithya, mere perception, doesn't have independent existence. Therefore, that Satyavastu source is unaffected, untainted, Niranjanaha. Being Niranjanaha, he doesn't have Punya Papa, he doesn't have ignorance. Therefore, he need not take a particular form, but still he could take a form, Nara Rupa Dharaha. That form can be a form of incarnation, and it can be a form of ordinary jiva. This is the knowledge revealed by Vedantic scriptures about every individual in the creation. In that song, Swami Vivekananda says, "Oh my Gurudev, my salutations to you, because you have revealed the grandest truth about me, not only about me, about the entire creation, about the nature of the Lord Himself." Being Lord, as you are Nirguna Vastu, I am also Nirguna Vastu from one standpoint. From the absolute standpoint, I am also Atma Vastu, Chaitanya Vastu you have revealed. My assumption of body is an incidental one. My assumption of particular name and form is an incidental one. How can you say so? How can you say so? Because it is subject to arrival and departure. That identity which is there in the waking state is not there in dream state. The waker goes as a panditaha, but he finds himself as a murkaha in dream world. A waker goes to sleep as a rich person, but there he finds himself as a poor person. Therefore Shastra says, Tatra mata amata bhavati pita apita. When we go to sleep, we go with an identity that I am father and mother. I am father or mother. But do we sustain that identity while sleeping also? Can anyone sleep with an identity that I am father, I am father, I am father? Can anyone sleep? Therefore, that identity which is subject to arrival and departure cannot be the real identity of oneself. And that identity which is in and through all these three states of existence, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, must be the reality. What is that reality? In every state, in every avastha, we call it, in every avastha there is an idea, I. That is why even getting up from sleep, he could say, I slept well. How can he say so? Can sleeper say so? Can sleeper say so, I slept well? Sleeper is slept already. He is resolved. Then who says I slept well? There must be a witness consciousness, which is the witness of resolution of the temporary identity. And at the same time, who is available in Jagrat Avastha can say that I slept well. Therefore, any identity which is subject to arrival and departure cannot be the real identity of anyone. Suppose you qualify yourself as an engineer. That's an identity. How many years you are engineer? As long as you work as engineer, your identity will be as engineer. Unfortunate thing is, after retirement also they want to keep that identity. Therefore they put ex-engineer, ex-headmaster. That means what? Ex means what? Not there now. You yourself know. Then why you put board? Why you put board? Ex-MLA, ex-MP. Why you put board? Therefore Shastra asks us to do vichara. Everything is a standpoint. Every identity is a standpoint. As a small girl or boy, you are a student. Then as a youth, you are with youth body, you are a youth. After marriage, you get a new identity, husband or wife. Then after the arrival of a child, your identity is changed or added. Like that, every identity is from one standpoint or the other, and it is subject to arrival and departure. Find out, is there any identity which is in and through all these temporary identities? What is that? And we all know the word I is the only identity. I was young, I was child, I was married, I was mother or father. Like that, I. That's why these old people, when they used to show the marriage photo for their grandchildren, the grandchild will ask, Grandpa, is it you? Because there is a lot of contradictions between the photo and the reality. In photo with all curly hairs, black hairs, now balded. So the child asks, is it you? Yes. How can he say so? Yes. Tell. How can he say so? Because you were there and you are now. Therefore, that real identity is something which is not limited by Kala or Desha, must be the real identity. And Shastra reveals it that Tadu Tvam Asi, you are infinite entity. This is the knowledge given in 2 words of the first shloka of the Arati song. Nirgunaha Gunamayaha. These 2 words are not ordinary words. Entire Vedantic teachings are there inside. In my previous classes, I explained, just for recollecting, if Bhagavan is everything, where is an individual? If Bhagavan is everything, idagam sarvam yadayam atma. If Bhagavan is all names and forms, if Bhagavan is entire creation, pancha bhutas, if Bhagavan is pancha bhautika shariram, where is an individual who cries, I am suffering, I am suffering? To say I am suffering, he should stand out of the creation, correct? To complain that this creation is creating problem to me, the complainer should be different from the complained Jagat. So Shastra asks, is there separate Jagat? Please tell. In what standpoint you can complain? From body standpoint, can you complain? Can you say that I am different from this creation from the body standpoint? You can never say, because your body is product of this creation. Pancha bhautika sharira. Can you complain from the consciousness standpoint? That also you cannot do that, because that conscious entity is me, myself. Bhagavan says, it is me, myself. So where you are standing, please tell. And the creation which you are complaining about is my own manifestation. Neither the complainer is different from me, nor the complained Jagat is different from me. Idagam sarvam yadayam atma. Idam brahma, idam kshatram, ime loka, ime deva, imani bhutani, idagam sarvam yadayam atma. That is the revelation. Therefore, now the question comes, which one I should accept as a reality? The entire creation says, including theologians, including religious people say, that I am a limited entity. My family members say one type of limitation. When I go to temples, religious people also say that I am a limited entity, I am a papi, I am born out of papi, or I am born to a papi. Some religions say, I am born out of papa, my own papa. Therefore I suffer. It is your karma, therefore you suffer. Hindu religion says. Semitic religion says. Islam and Christianity says, you might not have done any papa because this is the first janma for you. Your father's father, Adam did. So either you are papi by your own karma, or you are born out of papi because your father's father, that first person, did papa. So my limitation doesn't go away. What is the way to get rid of this limitation? What is the way to get rid of anxiety, get rid of guilt, get rid of fear? What is the solution given by the religion? Pray to him. There will be a day you will die. Okay, that I know. Without prayer also, I will die. No. One thing you don't know. After death, there will be a judgment day. you will be called there. Then afterwards, you will be judged by your own actions. When I am born, you are telling I am born because of somebody's action. When I am dying, you are telling I will be judged by my own actions. How contradictions you see religious theologies. Vedanta is the only solution. It is so logic. Not only it is so logic, it is pramanam. As pratyaksha pramanam is valid in our life, so Shastra Pramanam, Vedanta Pramanam is very, very valid in our life. When Sri Ramakrishna addressed Swami Vivekananda, you are Bhagavan, what is the Pramanam? You please tell. Can a person address as an individual to another individual, you are Bhagavan? How you know, sir, I am Bhagavan? If that person asks, what will be the answer? No, I think so. Okay, you think yourself. Who bothers about your thought? What is the pramanam? If somebody says you are a Kotishwara, you are a rich person, then I will ask, what is the pramanam? So there must be some proof for my wealth. Similarly, there must be some proof for my divinity. What is the pramanam? No person's words can be pramanam as long as he is an ordinary person. Or even if he is an incarnation, he doesn't have any validity by his own words. That's why every incarnation says, Tasma Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Karyo Vyavastito Jnatva Shastra Vidhanoktam Karma Kartum Iharhasi. Having taught the entire Vedantic teaching, Bhagavan Krishna says, Arjuna, these words, these revelation are not mine. It's all from Shastra. If a person is claimed to be an incarnation, what can he teach? Please tell. If at all he has to teach the same teaching which he has given in the beginning of the creation. Correct? That's why Bhagavan Krishna says in Gita, Imam vivasvate yogam proktavan aham avyayam vivasvan manave praha manurikshvagave apravi evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu sakale neha mahata yogo nashtaf parantapa. Nothing new I can tell, my dear. Everything is already revealed. Everything is already revealed in a pramanam called Shastra Pramanam. Therefore, according to the understanding of Swami Vivekananda, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is the incarnation of Lord. In his lecture, Hinduism and Sri Ramakrishna, Swamiji says very clearly that in order to re-establish this Vedic and Vedantic teaching, same Bhagavan who has taken the form of Rama and who has taken the form of Krishna has taken this particular form in our time as Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Therefore, neither an individual can say anything about any individual's divinity, nor Bhagavan's incarnation say by his own right anything about any individual's divine nature. Therefore, everyone has to go through this Shastra Pramanam. Now the question comes, which one I should depend upon? There are two opinions. One is, I am limited entity. Another one is, I am infinite entity, having no problem at all. Vedanta asks a simple question. Do you think that these limitations are reality? If you say yes, then never try to get rid of it, because it is reality. Anything that is real cannot be negated. How can he say so? That is the definition of reality. That cannot be negated is called reality, is called fact, is called knowledge. Trikala abhaditam satyam. Satyam means fact, reality. Trikala abhaditam. It can be put to verification by any individual. You yourself verify. If a scientist say water is nothing but H2O, 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen, if he says, you ask him, Sir, how can he say so? That is a fact. You can verify it. Suppose if he says, I think so, what you will do? Okay, you continue to think so. I have no relevance in that. Understand? So, now the question is, which pramanam I will accept as a guide for my life? Based on which pramanam I will have my own identity. This pratyaksha pramanam, these sense organs, this mind shows me as a limited entity. But Shastra pramanam shows myself as an infinite entity. Which one I should accept as the source of knowledge? Because this knowledge is very, very important knowledge. Without analyzing the source of knowledge, if I accept any opinion as a fact, then I will be the loser. Without allowing the source of knowledge to prove itself, if I accept something, then I will be the loser. In the last class, I gave an example. To see forms and colors, what is the source of knowledge? Eyes are the source of knowledge. Chakshu pramanam. If you don't allow that chakshu pramanam to work, to prove itself, and if you reject from the very beginning itself, who will be the loser? Please tell. Therefore, every source of knowledge is swata pramanyam. It is the source of knowledge by its own right. It proves it. That is why one source of knowledge cannot negate the another source of knowledge. What is shown by eyes cannot be negated by ears, cannot be negated by nose. Every source of knowledge works in a separate field. It is independent of other, has its own field, and you cannot interchange it. I am bored seeing with my eyes. Let me try for one day to see through my ears. Can you say? You have no option. All the while you have to use the same pramanam. When you are not able to see things clearly, what you have to do? You have to rub your eyes again and use the same pramanam. If you are not able to hear a particular word, what you have to say? Sorry, can you tell one more time? When the person says second time, will you use your eyes to hear that? Same ears only you have to use. Therefore, every pramanam is a independent one. Swata pramanya siddham. Cannot be interchanged. Every pramanam has its own field of working. Therefore, cannot be verified. What is shown by one particular source of knowledge is the final knowledge. You cannot verify it. If I show that this book is with yellow color, you cannot verify it. Therefore, only neither you can prove it nor you can negate it. If at all you want to make sure, again you have to see through your own eyes. So, knowledge doesn't have any option. Jnanam vastu tantram pramana tantram, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says. Action have options. You can act in this way or in that way, or you need not act also. Kartum akartum anyathava kartum shakyate. Purusha tantram. It is all depend upon the will of the individual. Doing any particular action is depend upon the will of the individual. But gaining any knowledge doesn't depend upon the will of any individual. It doesn't depend upon the whims and fancies of an individual. Actions are depend upon whims and fancies of individual. One particular day, he might have helped a person who is suffering from accident. The same person, when he goes second day in the same route, one more accident he says, second day he goes without helping. Then you call him, sir, yesterday you helped him. Today you are not. Why? What is the reason? He say, yesterday I like to help. Today I don't like to help. That is called an action way because of whims and fancies. But gaining knowledge doesn't depend upon whims and fancies of an individual. Yesterday I see this book as yellow color book. Today can I ask my eyes to show to me as blue color book? I order, my dear eyes, I order you. You please reveal this book as blue color. What my eyes will show? It will hear. It will hear. My ears will hear, but eyes will show what? Eh? Your order I am not able to hear. Eyes will tell, your words I cannot understand. What I have to do, I will do. That's all. Therefore, it will show it again as yellow color book. Therefore, there is no possibility of verification. There is no possibility of proving and negating if a knowledge is revealed by pramanam. Do you understand the meaning of pramanam? It's all pregnant words in our Sanskrit language. No translation is possible. Loosely you can translate means of knowledge or source of knowledge. That's all. So, now the question is, if Indriyas and mind are revealing my identity in one way, and if Shastra reveals my identity in another way, which one I should go through? Which one I should accept? Shastra says it is not question of accepting or believing. Put into verification. Put every pramanam into verification. It must prove its validity. A scientist says there is a world. A scientist say that there is a creation. Our forefathers asked, how you know that there is a creation? What was the answer? Because we perceive. Because we perceive, there is a creation. Our forefathers asked one more question. You see creation because it is there and perceive, or you see the creation because you perceive? Please tell. It's a very confusing question. Because it is there you are seeing, or because you are seeing it is there? Please tell. No answer. Till date, no answer from science. Because they cannot question the validity of pramanam. Every scientific experiment is valid by a framework that don't question the validity of sense organs. That is taken for granted. All sense organs are valid source of knowledge. That is taken for granted. But our forefathers were champions of knowledge. They question the very validity of very source of knowledge. They question the validity of eyes. And they came to the conclusion, eyes are valid means or source of knowledge because it gives a valid knowledge. Anadigate, abhadite, asandigde, arthavate, jnana bodhagatvat, chakshu pramanam, pramanam yeva. Whatever sense organs reveal are unknown revelation. Cannot be known by any other sense organ, any other source. If eyes show that this book is yellow color, can you know this? Can you gain this knowledge by any other source? No possible. Therefore, anadigatam, unknown knowledge. So far, I cannot know that. Abaditam, what eyes reveal cannot be negated by any other source of knowledge. Nor it can be proved, neither it can be negated. Abaditam. Then it is an useful knowledge. For my life, it is an useful knowledge. Therefore, they gave a definition for pramanam. That can be called a source of knowledge which reveals a knowledge which cannot be known by other sources, which cannot be negated by other sources, which will be useful for our life. Anadigate, abhadite, asandigda, arthavate, jnana bhotakam, pramanam. Same definition you apply for Vedanta. Same definition you apply for Vedanta. Vedanta says you are infinite. Can you know this particular piece of knowledge by any sense organ? Can you know? Vedanta says you are formless. Can you know? By any other sense organs? Every sense organ shows that you are form. Understand? So there is a new piece of knowledge. Vedanta says you are birthless, deathless. Can you know? Through any sense organ? Okay, it is new only, I accept. Is it valid? If it is negated, it cannot be valid. I show something as snake. My friend brings the torchlight and shows it is a rope. So the idea, the knowledge which I had 1 minute before that it is snake is now negated by arrival of torchlight. Similarly, can you negate the knowledge revealed by Vedanta that you are infinite, that you don't have birth and death, that you are full and complete, you are the source of whatever you are seeking after in your life? That is a revelation. Can any source of knowledge negate this? Can mind negate this? Can Indriyas negate? No, it cannot be negated. You try. It cannot be negated. Then third one is it useful knowledge or not? It is the most useful knowledge in the world. Because any other knowledge I gain in my life is about an object. Any other knowledge I gain in my life is about a second person singular plural, third person singular and plural. No knowledge involves any detail about first person singular I. So I don't know myself and I try to know everything other than myself. That is the fate of human mind. Paranchi kani vedirat swayambhu tasmat parang pashyati na antaratman. Because all those instruments of knowledge are kept outside, towards outside. They can know only objects and objects and objects. These sense organs know 5 types of properties, that's all. Nama, Rupa, Sparsha, Gandha, Rasa, Shabda. That's all. All of them are properties. None of them can reveal the substance. Understand? No sense organ can reveal the substance. If there is a black cloth, the substance is cloth. Property is blackness. Correct? If there is a black cloth, the substance is cloth. Property is black. Can a property exist without substance? There is no possibility at all. Suppose you say black. Immediately other person will ask, black what? You continue. You complete this statement. Black, black, black. Black, what do you mean to say? Please tell black. What they will do? They will take you to Kilpakkam Medical College. You cannot stop telling something about property. You cannot stop any statement. White, white, white what? Tall, tall what? So there must be a substance which is the sustainer of the property. So now the Vedantic Acharyas, our Parampara, Rishi Parampara ask a question. My dear, by your sense organs and mind you can know only properties. Are you interested in knowing substance who gives existence to all these properties? Many people say, I am not interested. So Rishi say, Dirghayushman bhava. Dirghayush, live long. Life will teach you. You will be tired of dealing with properties. Anything you deal, nothing but properties. You deal with your body. The closest object is body and mind. Are you happy? Can you deal with it? Can you be the master of these objects? Everyone knows. அதை ஏன் கேட்கறீங்க சுவாமி? I wanted to be slim, but still it is growing bulky. However much I try and run and exercise, nothing happens, Swamiji. I want to be at peace, but my mind doesn't accept my command. So, the very nearest object of an individual, which is the object of our perception. We perceive our body, we perceive our mind. Who is the perceiver? Please tell me. Who is the perceiver? If body and mind are perceived object, who is the perceiver? Body doesn't say I am body. Mind doesn't say I am mind. Somebody says other than these two. So, if you try to be happy dealing with these objects, I have no words other than blessing Dirghayushman Bhava. Hold on to your body and transact with it and have a nice time only, I will tell, but still it is not possible. Correct? Therefore, Kaschid Dhiraha. There are some few people who can say, yes, I want to know something about the substance. Then Shastra says, come, I will reveal to you. And what Shastra reveals is a grandest wonder. Most wonderful thing about myself. Everybody criticizes me, blames me, dumps me in a waste basket. Here is one person, innocent person, maybe half mad, but still is wonderful because he calls me, you are wonderful. You see? So anybody calls you, you are beautiful, anybody says you are beautiful, what you will tell? Is it so sad? Yes. Am I? Yes, you are wonderful, beautiful. You are intelligent. Initially you may try to object it. Sir, ungalukku theriyadhu enna patti. You don't know about. No, I know. You are intelligent. So, whether you accept his statement or not, at least you love that person. Appa, here is a person who is so innocent. He calls me intelligent. He calls me beautiful. So you love him. Like that only the relationship between that student and the teacher continues. Swami Vivekananda says, though I have concluded about my teacher, I have concluded that he is a half-mad person, but I could not stop going to him because he has conquered me by his sheer love. He has conquered me by his sheer love. His sheer purity and renunciation has conquered my heart. Similarly, if the seeker continues to be with the teacher, who handles the source of pramanam, who handles the source of knowledge, who handles Vedanta pramanam, that teacher is being associated with the student, then gradually the student gains that knowledge. Therefore, you cannot reject Vedanta pramanam as a mere book. People say it is a book. It is not a book. Every book is a secondary source of knowledge. Understand? Every book is a secondary source of knowledge and it requires verification. And it is subject to rejection. Somebody writes that there is a golden hillock near Badrinath. You can go and verify and reject that statement. Like that, you cannot treat this Vedanta as a book. Therefore, only Bhagavan told, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. Shraddha means what? That knowledge, that this is a valid source of knowledge. What is Shraddha? Vedanta is a valid source of knowledge. Shastra is a valid source of knowledge. It is not born out of somebody's kapola. It is not kapola kalpitam. It is not personal opinion of any individual. Because any personal opinion doesn't have universal acceptance, correct? I say there is an elephant. How you say, Swami? How you say? If I say, I see, you also can see if you are not a poppy. If you say, what you will tell? What you will do? You are not ready to accept yourself as sinner. Then, yes, Swami, I also see. Correct? So it's all personal opinion. Suppose if I say, there is an elephant. How can you say? Because there is a mic. If I say, what you will tell? Ayyo. So far Swami was nice only. Suddenly what happened? Where is the connection between the existence of mic and the existence of elephant? So your buddhi rejects that statement. Correct? It is contradiction. That means what? Wherever mic is there, there must be elephant. Understood? Therefore, you cannot reject Vedanta as a mere book. It is a pramanam. Shastram is a pramanam. Allow the shastram to work through in your life. Allow the shastram, allow the teacher to work in your life. That is why that humility is given as a qualification. Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmano nirvedamayad nastya krita kritene tadvijnanartham sa gurumyeva abhigachet samitpanihi shrotriyam brahmanishtam. Are you fed up with limited things? Are you fed up with the result of any action? Come. Do you want to know which is beyond cause and result? Come. I will teach you. Where that knowledge is given, tad vijnanartham, not tad praptyartham, not to gain, not to attain it, but to know it, tad vijnanartham. Because if there is something called reality, it must be available here and now. You need not attain it. It must be available here and now. You need not attain it. Only thing is, if you are not able to recognize its existence, I will teach you how to recognize its existence. Like a mother teaches the child to open the eyes to see. Like a doctor who has operated the patient's eyes, asks the patient to open. The patient says, sir, give the guarantee. Then only I will open. Hey, you open. You can see. It's all Satasiddham, Satapramanyam. You can see. No, sir. If I don't see, I will be depressed. Please give me the guarantee. What guarantee can teachers say? Therefore, no other means for us. That's why all Shastra unanimously says one thing. Sarva Shastrajnopi Brahmanveshanam Swatantaryene na kuryat iti Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Abhigache. Even if you are a scholar and scientist in any other field, still never try to gain knowledge about yourself by using your own mind. The Gurum Yeva Abhigache. You have to go to that person who can handle that pramanam, who can teach you how to handle you yourself and know the reality. And what is the reality revealed? That the individuality because of which you are suffering from is a mere bhranti. It's a notion because it can be negated. The person says, I am father. It can be negated by the death of the child. He will tell what? I was father. Understood? Any identity can be negated. If it is negated, then it cannot be the reality, real identity about yourself. Find out in your life, can you have any identity which cannot be negated other than this identity? Other than the identity that you are everything. You are all pervasive entity. Other than this, can you have any other identity in your life which cannot be negated? 1 week time is given. We will meet in the next week. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa vigraham vai Ishāvataram parameshamedyam tam Ramakrishnam shirasa namami. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishnarpanamastu.